What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz coming to you today to talk about the news around Coinbase. So, Coinbase, just straight to the chase. If you're not following Coinbase on Twitter, this is what they said. Today, we are announcing that we are exploring the addition of the following assets to Coinbase: Cardano, Basic Attention Token, Stellar Lumens, XLM, ZCash, and 0x. So it's not official, okay? But they're exploring it, all right? So we're just putting that out there. Um, Sorry about that. I was getting thrown off looking at, at Twitter. Um, let me let me uh let me fix that. So if you guys are out there, go ahead and crush up the like button. This is not official yet, guys. Okay, it's not official. They're exploring it. So it was uh, like you said, Coinbase said this today. We are announcing that we're exploring the addition of the following assets to Coinbase. Okay, so it's not official. And they said, unlike Ethereum Classic, which is technically similar to Ethereum, these assets require additional work that necessitates contact with many external parties. To ensure that this news comes to you directly from us, we are publicly announcing our intentions. Okay, so please note that we are not guaranteeing the listing of any of these assets. We may list them with partial support or only specific jurisdictions. In particular, some assets may become available in other countries before the US. Okay, so let's just make this clear. We're gonna have to change the title of this video because it's not clear, but um, just it's not official yet. Okay, so please don't jump the gun here. This is just Coinbase saying they're exploring the possibility of adding these coins, which is cool because as we've been talking about many times, the micro transaction payment processing coins with the high circulating supply that go for under $1 or $2 or $3 on a great, you know, bull run. Um, Obviously, right now, I think you get Cardano for like what, 15 cents. So um, let's take a look at where Cardano's sitting right now. Cardano at 13 cents, Stellar Lumens at 19 cents. If when new people, this is just a theory, okay? Because I apparently I have to put all these disclaimers out there because if I don't put the disclaimer out there, people jump to these conclusions, and then people who are like big brother of the internet need to, remind me to put these disclaimers out there. This is just a theory. I'm not professional financial advice, okay? But my anticipation would be that people, newbies in particular, would rush to buy Cardano, Stellar, or some micro transaction coin um, faster than they would try to buy a $6,000 or $18,000 or $20,000 Bitcoin. You get it? So that's just my theory, is that because what we saw in the previous market dynamic with, let's just use Verge as an example. Okay, Verge went from well under a penny to way above, what, I think it went up to 20 some cents. Tron went from well below a penny to like almost 30 cents, right? 29 cents. I mean, and that was because people were like, hey, I can buy a bunch of cryptocurrency coins, uh, and because people are kind of naive, newbies are naive, and this has nothing to do with me or anyone else. If anything, that's why our channel educates people, because if you go way back to October, we were one of the first channels actually informing people how to calculate market cap correctly at the mainstream level. There was people at the lower level that didn't have the big audience, but Altcoin Buzz, myself, I can remember that no one else was talking about how to properly calculate market cap. The total supply that goes into the actual market cap, and that gives you the price of the coin. A lot of people didn't even know that. And that was what happened with a lot of newbies, is they thought, oh, I could get Tron for a penny because it's going to be worth $20,000 one day, like Bitcoin. You you know how I know this? Because I used to have conversations with people who would say that they thought their Tron was going to be worth the price of Bitcoin. uh, okay, I'm reading some comments now because I've been ignoring them. As people said, Jeff, just don't read the comments anymore. These people are they're looking to go buck wild here. But I'll read some. Hopefully, you guys are talking normal. Keep it up, brother. Time for new Lambo. What do you think about Electronium? Electronium wasn't actually in that list, but we'll see what happens with Electronium. Thanks for your education. Best financial advice on YouTube. Okay, someone's playing games with me. Well, like McDonald's founder said, once increase the supply, demand will flow. Yeah, I mean, well, it's supply and demand, and also, I mean, that's why fast food is one of the premier chains to own. Like owning a McDonald's is mega especially in the right area. I mean, and it's very low operating cost to make a cheeseburger. Who knows what they're putting in it, but um, yeah. So just in case you're tuning into this, it's not confirmed. Okay, so I want to make that very clear on this video. It is not confirmed that they are adding them. They are exploring the addition of the following assets to Coinbase: Cardano, Basic Attention Token, Stellar Lumens, ZCash, and 0x. 0x is a surprise. Now, notice one thing that we've said from the very beginning uh, about the tokens, right? So people were thinking that tokens were going to get added to Coinbase, and we were saying no. It's typically going to be in the early phases. It's going to be um, coins, but basic attention token is a token. So the fact that Coinbase has gone out and added a token like BAT, that's pretty interesting. 0x is the one that surprised me the most. Did any of you guys see 0x coming? I mean, is it lagging? Mr. Bit says he holds a position in all these coins. Mr. Bit, I'm pretty sure you hold a position in a lot of coins if you hold all 5 of these. Um, Oh, so you guys are saying you called 0x? I can honestly say I did not call 0x getting added. But and that's a token also. I mean, but so BAT and 0x, 2 tokens. Previously, I was not anticipating token support or tokens being added like this. Well, maybe back then I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I didn't expect it even this soon. So I have no problem being right when things go great, right? It's like saying, I'm sure the people. Well, I would like to think that the people who are anticipating a $3,500 Bitcoin or $4,500 Bitcoin in the back of their head hope they're wrong and that Bitcoin goes up, but they could hope they're right because then they would buy the Bitcoin at 3,500, 4,500, and when it goes up, that's kind of how some people play it. But in this case, I'm not sad about being wrong about these tokens being added because, um, as you know, I still hold like over 50 bags of tokens or coins and tokens, but a lot of tokens. Um, but yeah, so Cardano, man, Cardano at 13 cents. I mean, I would say out of all these, I mean, Stellar Lumens also. The thing you have to ask yourself is when the new people come in and there's always going to be this new person exuberance. We saw that. You guys did it. I did it. We all do that. Like when the market's all of a sudden booming, if it ever happens again, which we all hope it does, and I think it will, which is the next level of adoption where we go from, I don't know if we're still at 1% global mainstream adoption because I don't know how many people sold their bags, but um, when we go from uh, you know 1% to 10%, if we ever get there, which I hope we do. Apparently, I can't be overly optimistic anymore because I'll get people in here saying that I'm too optimistic. So um, the resident pessimists are keeping me in line, but it's on Twitter, Jeff. You guys are asking me where I heard this information. You guys, if you're not using Twitter and you're in crypto, I have no idea why. How are you guys invested in crypto and not using Twitter? Twitter is where you get all the news straight off the dime. I mean, I've been telling you guys this for what, 8 months now, since our channel got popular back then. Um, Thinking all this ADA week and didn't pull the trigger. Well, I mean, I don't think ADA is really that high right now. I mean, if you're going to buy ADA, if you're going to pull the trigger on buying it, then I mean, let's just look at ADA. Whoa, ADA is just booming right now. It just shot up. It went from 13 to 14 cents. It's up 12.4%. So I guess this news right here is yeah. This news just shot Cardano way up. It went from 12 cents to 14 cents. If you were in, this is what we were talking about, guys, where you get in these positions when they're flat and they're dead. See, like all these newbies and these people who don't understand how to invest, they get all depressed when the coin goes flat for 2 or 3 months. But when it goes flat and just runs flat for 2 to 3 months, that's when you take out a position typically, because what's going to end up happening is it's going to have its moment where it's just going to shoot up, and you want to be in the middle of that. So if you got this real sour attitude because your coin's running sideways for 3, 4, 5 months, wake up. At least that's, but sorry, I'm being a dick again. I don't mean to be a dick, but I mean that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. If your coin is like going low, 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 that's when you buy. That's what low, low, low means. Buy low. See, but what happens is now everyone's going to want to buy Cardano now that it just shot up. So Cardano just shot up in price. Everyone and their mom's going to try and buy Cardano. They're still trying to buy Cardano. I bet Cardano goes up to 15 cents before long. Well, who knows? I don't know for sure. But look at, people are probably going to also sell this dip. Or they're probably going to sell this. So there's people in the pump right now. They're going to start selling on all the people who are going to buy. And then all the people who are going to buy the pump, they're going to get all pissed off because they're going to get dumped on by the OGs who are tracking the market correctly. And then they're going to complain about it, and then we got to hear about it, and then Big Brother's got to come along and yell at all the YouTubers because they make videos. Big Brother, as in like trolls. Can anyone see what XLM is? Let me give you guys XLM. I'm loving your guys' comments today, though. There's so much, uh, like you guys are staying focused. Woo! All right, let's see what's going on here. At least you guys are on track. Not seeing any trolls in here right now. So it went from what, 18 cents, went up to 20 cents briefly, pulled back down on 19, because what happens is people are just trying to skim off the top. They'll take that 5%. People will take that 5% right off the top. That's why I'm saying, like, what you're supposed to be doing is getting in these positions that are running sideways. If you believe in the project and you see the prospects, you don't wait for the pump to happen to buy. I mean, you guys can say I'm a dick. I know you guys think that, whatever, that I yell at the audience. I don't mean to yell at you guys. I'm not a genius. Okay. It's just, this is basic principles. Like, this is not rocket science. This is what you're supposed to do when you're investing. You buy low and sell high. So when it runs sideways for a long time and you think it's a great token or a coin, you don't get all depressed about it and try to sell your bag and panic sell. You wait. If it means 6 months, that's the whole thing. Like, that's what investors do. Investors invest. They wait. They don't try to day trade every 15 days. Okay. So, I mean, this is all wisdom. I'm not, you guys could get mad at me, call me a dick, say I yell at the audience. That's not what I'm here to do. Okay. I'm saying, like, figure it out. Buy low, sell high. I mean, people say this all the time, even the same people who regurgitate it, but they'll still try to buy the pumps. Like, they're going to buy, people are going to be buying these pumps right here. And what I'm saying is, a day late, dollar short. Don't be the person who's a day late and a dollar short every damn time. Like, start to get more familiar with tracking the market, getting into positions when they're running sideways. I'll keep repeating it until you guys figure it out. People are asking about Ripple. Well, notice, you would have thought that if, I don't think Ripple's too friendly with Coinbase, because you would have thought Ripple would be in this batch. I'm not saying it's not going to be in the batch, but the fact that it's not in this batch of news, that says something, I think. I'm in Ibiza, Spain. No, I'm not. What's that Mike Poisner song? I took a pill in Ibiza. No, I don't take pills. I don't take drugs. Okay. You guys were asking. I said I like that song because I like the clubs, but I'm not one of those people who go up into clubs and start taking all these drugs and stuff. I'll drink alcohol. Okay. That's it. No Tron. Well, see, and this is the thing. What has Justin Sun? Notice none of these projects. See, all these projects have American. Well, I don't know about Basic Attention Token and 0x, but I've noticed that Coinbase is very friendly to American token projects or coin projects. Cardano is out of. Well, we know that Charles Hoskinson. He lives in Colorado. You have Jed McCaleb, the leader of Stellar Lumens. He's out of what? Silicon Valley. And then you have BCH, which, is Bitcoin and BCH. Is that a Japanese project or is it a CIA project or is it a who knows who? Roger Ver, he's an American. Uh, Although Craig Wright, he's Australian. But, I've noticed like Ethereum, I mean, it's heavily backed by Mike Novogratz. Vitalik's a Canadian Russian, but for the most part, he's probably pretty close to being an American. Litecoin, Charlie Lee's project, that he's also a Coinbase co-develop, like he was a programmer for Coinbase. And Coinbase is out of Silicon Valley. So I've noticed that they tend to add coins support for American projects, not like Neo or VeChain or Tron. I'm not saying they won't, but we'll see. Are you guys picking up on what I'm putting out? See, this goes back to what I was talking about 2 to 3 months ago. 3 months ago. I said focus on the top 10. Everyone was telling me, "Oh, I'm a jerk off," because I'm focused on the. Not everyone. Many of you guys were saying that was a good idea, but I was getting all this hate mail for people who were saying, "Oh, you need to be talking about the coins out of the top 10, top 20," and I was like, "Whoa, slow down there, Turbo." I was like, I'm not saying those are bad projects. I still hold plenty of coins, but the safe options were in the top 10, top 20. If you guys have been watching Jeff on Altcoin Buzz for a while, you know that that's where my forecasting and my projections were targeting, was the top 10. And these are top 10, top 20. I mean, Stellar Cardano, obviously in the top 10. Ethereum Classics, number 15. Now, 0x, I mean, you could call it a top 10, top 20 coin, but like I said, this one caught me off guard. ZCash, always on the cusp. So that one's at 21 right now. But BAT's at 38. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, okay, yet again, this is only just a projection. I have no dang clue, period. Like, I have no idea if this is for sure or not. But I would not be surprised to see something like Steam get on there. I wouldn't be surprised to see um yeah, I would say Steam would be another one that could possibly be added to uh Coinbase. That has nothing to do with me shilling. That just means that to me Steam would make sense to go on to Coinbase. But then again, it's a social network, and if Facebook's looking to buy Coinbase, I don't think they would add Steam. So there's all these variables that you got to consider when you're really, when you're diving in and giving it some thought, right? Um, I'm surprised Monero didn't get selected. Uh, like you guys say, XRP. XRP is an American project for the most part. I mean, Brad Garlinghouse is an American. I'm surprised they got overlooked on this one. I mean, that's not good news for XRP to get overlooked unless they're creating a competing product and Coinbase is aware of it. Maybe they're getting cozy with Robinhood. If you guys aren't already using Robinhood's app, I use Robinhood for stocks. I love it. They don't charge. There's no they don't do fees. I mean, every other stock app and exchange does fees. Now, there are some technical difficulties that I'm hearing about that will have to be ironed out. Guys, crush up the likes. We're at 92 and we got 513 people tuning in. But yeah, there's only 13 states, I believe, don't quote me on that, that are able to accept Robinhood, or that Robinhood is able to operate in. But they did say that they believe that by the end of 2018, they will be in every state. Now, I think there's a couple states that are really strict on crypto, so that should be interesting to hear Robinhood say what they said about they're trying to get in every state by the end of 2018, knowing that there's a couple states that are not very friendly towards crypto. So maybe that says maybe they have some sort of insight into how the regulations of things are going to shape up. We'll see. Trying to read some of these comments. Lots of intelligent conversation happening in the comment section for once, so I'm pretty happy about that. I like when you guys actually have intellectual conversation and not just trolling the heck out of these feeds. So shout out to the altcoin army for this one. What do I think about debitum? See, now I'm getting people in here talking about some coin that I've never even heard of. What's going on, crypto brand? How you doing? Hey Jeff, you heavy bro. What do you mean? You asking if I'm fat? I weigh about 200 pounds. I don't know. Is that heavy? Won't be long for DGB. I mean, DGB could, I don't know if you're one of those like people that are trying to like spam this news feed or this live feed with your coin or whatever, but I like Digibyte. I don't like people who go around just shilling their coin in this live feed though. I don't like that. Do I think ETC will ever get to ETH levels? Well, remember, ETC, Ethereum Classic, is the original, right? You guys know the story about ETC, and I mean, I don't have the exact details right here in front of you to read you the whole report, but basically, they had to kind of do a fork because part of the network got hacked or something like that, and that's what Ethereum Classic was the original, and then so Charles Hoskinson, I believe, is the CEO of ETC, and Ethereum is now the primary. So I mean, could it be a flippening back to the original? I don't know. Brad says, "Smash up those likes. Get this out there." Well, I mean, it's cool. I mean, we're already 22 minutes into it. Decentralized internet projects like Substratum and Skycoin. Yeah, I mean, Skycoin is an interest, or I'm sorry, not Skycoin. Substratum is an interesting prospect. Like I said, I feel as though Steam should be on there, but if Facebook's buying a Coinbase, I don't think. If I mean, unless Facebook tries to buy Steam, but typically we all know. I'm not even going to say it because they're just crazy taking over. 200. How tall are you? Well, I'm. You said I'm a big dude. 200. I'm not that big. I mean, I'm not like super huge. I mean, I've seen people that are 6'6". I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. I would like to get down to 175. No, 180. I'd like to get down to 180. Yeah, Substratum. I think Substratum. That's a legitimate. I think that's a legitimate project. I don't see why Tron shouldn't get at it either. But cryptocurrency, I think the way the crypto dynamic looks now and the direction we're going is really going to evolve a lot. Like the way that we see crypto right now, 3 to 4 or 5 years from now, is going to be way different. I mean, I'm seeing how like there's this like war against centralized exchanges. Then there's this these like good old boys in the deep state of Silicon Valley trying to come in there. Then there's China, then there's Korea, Japan, then there's Switzerland. I mean, they're all kind of getting involved, and you know how Bittrex and Binance are doing USD pairings and all that. I mean, we're looking to do some of that. It's going to make things a lot more competitive. I mean, for a long time there, Coinbase had the you know they were in a great position because pretty much the most efficient and best way to get crypto during that last bull run was through Coinbase, and everyone hated Coinbase. Well, now the dynamics changing. You got Robinhood in there, you've got Binance and Bittrex coming in with USD, all this stuff. So um, it's really gonna create a lot of competition, which is really healthy for the market, and we'll see who wins out, right? It's kind of like how we have so many coins and so many tokens, and you just have to hope that yours ends up winning out. Like Google's the only search engine that's really relevant. Like Bing, what? Ask Jeeves, what? Ask.com. I mean, Facebook is the only real social media platform, and they own Instagram, and then you have Twitter, which kind of tries to keep up, and Snapchat, which, but for the most part, between Facebook, so I'm just saying, like, there's only going to be like, there's going to be people, companies, and tokens and projects that are just going to win out the dominance. And that's just typically what we see with capitalism. Well, I could be wrong. I mean, it could be like a more balanced, because we have antitrust laws in the United States, right? Antitrust laws, if you don't know what an antitrust law is basically no one can really hold a monopoly. That's why with the airline industry, you got United, you've got Delta, you don't just have one airline. And the reason is because they're supposed to compete with each other so that one of them doesn't just do runaway pricing. But in tech, we have like a lot of like very gray area antitrust violations, in my opinion. You have companies that own a large conglomerate of everything that's going on the internet. I'm not going to say any names. You already know who I'm talking about. I already mentioned a couple of them. But it's kind of like borderline, like, whoa. Um, but hey, they haven't done anything that's gotten them, and they're just capitalists. Why not? Why not keep building the empire, right? We had oversaturation of coins. Now we have saturation of exchanges coming. Is this a good thing? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it creates a lot of competition, just like with the coins and tokens. I mean, it's going to keep projects in line. Like, uh, I don't know about you guys, but if you're competitive, most entrepreneurs are competitive. They're not like blase, like playing video games, eating Doritos, and drinking Mountain Dew and chewing tobacco at their computer while they scream at World of Warcraft. We're talking about like entrepreneurs, people who pound pavement and get to work. There are some slacker CEOs out there, but for the most part, they are competitive. So, like, if one company is outpacing another one, the other companies, they're going to be having meetings saying, "Hey, we got to get ahead of these guys because they're running away with it," and then they'll pull ahead, and the other company will have to step up their game, and that just keeps escalating the industry. So, yeah, a competition between exchanges should do a couple things. It should keep exchange fees low. I mean, it should keep things neutral there. Also, it should, you know, keep getting safer and more efficient, more user friendly. And we've seen a great deal of advancement here in the tech, with Ethos finally rolling out its wallet. I mean, we've seen so much advancements of from where we were infrastructure wise in December to where we are now. The difference is the valuation of the market and the coins is just way down, but the infrastructure is stronger. So I mean, these are all things that we have to that we're taking into consideration as we're looking at the whole big picture of what's going on. So Stephen says politically correct culture has massively decreased competition in Western markets. Take over while you can, turn it up. Yeah, I mean, the West has some real, like, we had it in America. Okay, I can only speak for America. I can't speak for Switzerland or the EU. But antitrust laws are there for a reason, and they were put in place I mean, heck, Bill Gates went to testify on Capitol Hill back in the 90s because they were taking over the market back when Apple was nothing. Apple had, well, they were something, but they had, they fired Steve Jobs, and they went in a different direction. And then Steve Jobs went to Pixar and started Pixar. But then Gates had it all. Microsoft was everything. Windows 95, Windows 98, that was it. Windows 2000. So Gates actually needed competition. And I don't know for a fact, but I believe that Gates gave a loan of some sort or helped get Apple back on its feet going into the new millennium, going into the next century, going into the turn of the, Y2K. And I don't know the full story. This is just kind of what I remember hearing. But yeah, I mean, that's that's why I'm saying, like, there needs to be competition. Yeah, I mean, just because we're hearing good news does not mean the market's going to rocket up. It's not going to just start, you know, pumping, right? And the whole thing that I was talking about earlier, when your coin's running sideways, if you really believe in it, let's just say you bought Cardano at 55 cents or you bought it at 30 cents. If you really believe in it at those prices, why are you not trying trying to not buy the 12 pack and the smokes and save some of that money, $20 here and there every week and not drink every cup of coffee 3 times a day, save some of that money that you're just, your side money, and thinking about maybe putting it into an investment that uh you know like that's an idea. I mean, that's just some thoughts. I mean, I don't consider that financial advice. So, I mean, that's just kind of being like wise with your money and like saying, well, if I bought Cardano at 50 cents and I could get it now for 15 cents, what's changed for you? You just like buying really high? Um, so, well, yeah, there is some trading fees. He said buying beer. Okay, but the point is that, well, if you're going to the club on Friday and Saturday, maybe you only go on Friday. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. But going to the club can get expensive, especially if you're a gentleman and you buy ladies drinks. That can add up to about $100. So if you're doing two nights, I don't know how old you are, right? Okay, I don't know what your hobbies are either. But I mean, $200 a week. This is assuming that you make a livable wage. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys don't make a livable wage, but $200 a week. I mean, or $100 a week times four is $400 a month. I mean, that can get you set up in some pretty decent investments, I think. Could it go to zero? Absolutely. Do I have to put that out there every freaking time? Because yeah, I do. Because apparently people need to hear that. Mr. Bit says, "Hell no, I make them buy the drinks, ladies' night, free drinks. Guys learn the game." Oh man. Thoughts on Safe Exchange Coin? Very consistent. SafeX. I like SafeX. The one thing going on in the SafeX community that I'm not a big fan of is these people who go out there and just shill SafeX like maniacs, and that that's just terrible for the SafeX token or coin. It's terrible. You don't grow by forcing people or like railroading things down their people's throat to get it out there. Like if you're going to talk about SafeX, have an intelligent conversation. Don't just go out there spamming Twitter and spamming the internet with your coin. We've seen that before, and that didn't end up very good. So let's not do that. And if you're trying to join pump and dump groups, I'm going to advise you against that because we saw that before where people they just want to eat that. They want to eat that forbidden fruit. They want to take a bite from that apple, I guess you could say. Whenever they get a chance to get into pump and dump groups, they don't want to get burned by the pump and dump groups, but they have no problem joining the pump and dump groups. And you don't want to do that because that's just dirty. It's just not. It's not what you want to be a part of, really. Yeah, and also you don't want to be a part of a bunch of people getting pumped and dumped. I mean, even as a person creating this channel, like and seeing that a coin would go up, I would kind of lose sleep thinking about like the price action in that. Now I never well I I never sold most of my I've never sold any of my crypto into um fiat. But I mean I would buy a coin and hold it, but I've sold coins. Like I sold Verge I bought Verge below a penny and then I sold it when it went up to like 15 cents. But that took like a month to mature, but a pump and dump generally is like where the coin goes up, right? And then in a 48-hour, 72-hour time frame, it just retraces. So, you don't want to do that. I mean, there is a such thing as investing smart, smart investment. Like if you buy below a penny and it starts to go up, sell. Okay. If you want, it starts to go up. Like, who's to say you can't take profit on your investment? Like, why are you doing this if you're not going to take profit? Right. But the pump and dump thing is just a no go. That's just not a good thing. Pretty soon the blockchain itself will be the blockchain. You mean the internet will be the internet? So what, a coin is like a website or an app? Okay, anyway, guys, thanks to everyone who crushed up the likes. We already got to 185, 500 people watching. Thanks to everyone who's been watching, and we'll see you guys next time.